Okay, so you check into a hotel
Right.
and you see that sign concierge.
Yeah.
What do you think they actually do all day?
Yeah, I've always wondered that.
We're diving deep into that world today with some help from RoleCatcher's career platform. It's way more than just like booking dinner reservations.
Oh, I bet. What kind of stuff are we talking about?
Well, they have this whole guide on becoming a hotel concierge.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating. It's all about understanding people, like really getting what makes them tick.
That makes sense. It's one thing to know, like, every restaurant in a city,
Right.
but to know which one is perfect for that specific guest, that's a skill.
Exactly. RoleCatcher uses this example. Say you've got a guest who's desperate to see a show, but it's totally sold out.
Uh-oh.
The concierge somehow makes it happen. How?
Yeah.
It's those relationships they build.
Oh, right. They've always got connections, don't they?
Like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
Local businesses, other hotel staff.
It's like their superpower.
Totally. So it's not just booking a car service, it's calling the owner of the best one in town. Someone you've known for years.
Someone who owes you a favor, probably.
Right. Makes you think, though, we've got all these online booking systems now. You can reserve almost anything yourself these days.
So where does that leave the concierge?
That's what I was wondering. RoleCatcher actually talks about this tension between the high-tech and the human touch.
Because people still want that personal connection, don't they?
I think so, especially in a world that's becoming more digital every day. That personal touch, it's almost a luxury now.
Yeah, I can see that.
But it's not all charm. And knowing where to get the best croissants, right? RoleCatcher lists all these other skills you might not expect.
Like what?
Critical thinking, for one. Even administrative stuff. At first I was like, really? But then...
What is it about those skills that's so important?
Okay, imagine this. You've got multiple guests, each with their own crazy itinerary, and something goes wrong.
A flight gets delayed.
Or a dinner reservation falls through.
Oh, and the concierge has to fix it.
Exactly. It's like their air traffic control, but for someone's entire trip. Instead of planes, it's Michelin-star dinners and Broadway shows.
So they need to think on their feet.
Big time. And make decisions quickly, but also juggle a million things at once and do it all with a smile.
That takes serious organizational skills, I imagine.
That's where I'm guessing the administrative part comes in, right?
Yeah, keeping track of everything.
RoleCatcher gives this example. A concierge managing a guest's itinerary. It's not just handing them a printout, it's knowing when to say, hey, actually, because of the weather. Or there's this other thing happening in that day that you might love.
Wow, yeah. That's more than just administrative. That's anticipating needs.
Right. It's like being a mind reader, but for travel plans.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder about those, high-maintenance travelers.
Well, you mean?
The VIPs. Like, what do you need to wrangle those requests?
Oh, that's a whole other ball game. You're not just knowing the best restaurants anymore. You need to know the owner.
No kidding.
Their best table, the chef's favorite dish, and have a backup plan if they suddenly close for a private event.
Wow. Okay, so that's like expert level.
Right.
Does RoleCatcher talk about that kind of career path, like how you move up?
They do, actually. They've got this whole breakdown from entry level all the way to senior concierge.
Oh, cool. So take us through it. What's that journey like?
Well, you start at the bottom, right? Entry level. It's like concierge boot camp.
Love it.
You're mastering the basics. Restaurant reservations, how to get someone a taxi in under 5 minutes, all the must-see tourist spots.
Okay, so it's a lot of learning the ropes.
Exactly. You're building up that knowledge base, that customer service muscle. Then you move up, become a junior concierge.
So what changes? More responsibility.
Definitely. More pressure, too. Now you're getting into the personalization game. It's not just about knowing what to recommend, but why a guest would love it.
I see. So less relying on the guidebook, more using your instincts.
Exactly. RoleCatcher has this great example about, like, say a guest is super into Art Deco architecture.
Okay, niche.
Right. A junior concierge wouldn't just book them on some generic bus tour. They'd find those hidden architectural gems, maybe even wrangle a private viewing.
So you're basically crafting experiences at that point. That's cool.
And that brings us to the top of the concierge pyramid. Senior concierge.
The big leagues.
Exactly. This is where you're dealing with those VIPs we talked about, the ones who expect the impossible, and you make it happen.
So after years of making those connections, this is where it pays off.
Oh, big time. Remember that sold-out show we were talking about?
Yeah.
Senior concierge might be the only one who can pull some strings and get those last-minute tickets.
That's amazing. It's like you have to know everyone.
And the cool thing is, RoleCatcher talks about how senior concierges are also mentors at that point.
Oh, interesting.
So they're not just managing experiences, they're training the next generation of concierges, passing down all that insider knowledge.
That makes sense. You can't learn this stuff in a classroom.
No way.
It's all about those real-world experiences.
It reminds me of this one time
Speaking of learning, RoleCatcher has this whole section on interview prep. I was kind of blown away.
Oh, yeah. What did they have?
They have these AI-powered tools now that help you, like, craft the perfect responses to interview questions. Wild, right?
I know. It's crazy how AI is changing everything.
It really is.
But imagine that. You can have AI analyze your answers, tell you what to improve, even do like a whole mock interview with you.
I know. It's like having a personal career coach in your computer.
Right. And it makes you think, with all this AI, these personalized travel apps we have, could we all become our own concierges someday?
Whoa, what do you mean?
Think about it. You've got algorithms that plan your whole trip, book your flights, pick out restaurants you'll love.
Okay, yeah, I see what you mean. It's like having a personal assistant, but instead of just managing your schedule, it's your whole travel experience.
Exactly.
Huh. So, is that the future?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Will human concierges even be a thing?
Or will they become more important, because we miss that human connection.
It's like a philosophical debate now, almost.
Right.
What's more valuable? Having everything at your fingertips? Or that human touch, that feeling that someone gets you, gets what you'd like, even before you do?
I know. It's tough. Is it about being efficient? Or is it about that feeling of being taken care of, really looked after?
Well, I've got a whole new perspective on things now.
Me too.
Next time I check into a hotel, I'll be thinking about all this. Maybe the future of luxury travel isn't about more technology.
Maybe it's about remembering how important that human element really is.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah.
Well said. Well, on that note, I think we've done a pretty deep dive into the world of the hotel concierge. Thanks so much to RoleCatcher for all the insights.
They're doing some really interesting stuff.
Until next time, everyone.